What's up, my reseller friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I thrift to resell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I'm a full-time reseller, and today I have a come ship with me video. So I'm not sure when this video is going to be posted, but today is Monday, Memorial Day. The last time I did my shipping was on Saturday morning. So these are all the sales that have come through since Saturday morning. It's been kind of slow. It normally is slow for me on holiday weekends, so it's just something I was planned for anyways. But I actually am pretty happy with the sales that I did get, considering it is a holiday. So I thought that I had significant amount of things to ship today that made it worth it to film a come ship with me video. And I'm sorry if there's some noise going outside of my backyard. I do apologize for that. Hopefully it's not coming in loud through the camera. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first item that I have to ship is a magazine. Now, I bought this magazine at a thrift store, Savers, for $1. All their magazines are always $1. You know what? I'm gonna pause and wait for them to finish. All right, I normally film with the garage door open, but since I know they're doing work outside, I do have the garage closed, so that's why the lighting probably looks a little bit different from my usual video. So I do apologize for that, but you know, sometimes you have to film when you have the time to film, right? Or else I'm not gonna be able to make videos. All right, so sorry, I lost my place because I stopped for a second. All right, so a magazine from I bought this at Savers for $1. All the magazines are $1. This is a BTS cover from the magazine Vanity, or no, Variety, sorry, Variety. Not all magazines are created equal. I did buy a bunch of BTS. I keep wanting to call them BLT. I love BLTs. BTS magazines, there was a ton of them there. I picked all of them up. This was the only one out of all the BTS magazines I picked up because, yeah, this is the only one that had value. All the other ones that I purchased, I ended up bundling them together. That one still hasn't sold. When did I list this? I listed this in March. So it's been a couple months, but this one sold for $40 plus shipping. Pretty good, right? For a magazine. So yeah, just with magazines, you should always like look them up. Sometimes I like to bundle magazines together and they do pretty well. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you don't really want to pay up for magazines. I never do. And then if I'm gonna buy like a lot of magazines, like one time I was at a yard sale and I bought a huge box that was all cooking magazines with like recipes and stuff, you know. And I ended up bundling them up into like 4 different bundles, and I believe they all sold. They didn't sell for like a lot of money, but they all sold between like $15 to like $30 a bundle, and I paid like $5 for the whole thing. So it's not bad, right? And then another one that I sold that did really well, I think it was tattoo magazines. I had bought like a whole bunch of those ones and bundled those together. And I think I sold them for like $60. And again, I think I paid like $5 for the whole thing. So that's just something to look at. It's always great to learn about like different types of things that are easy things to find out there, right? Like magazines at yard sales are the types of things that you can find. But yeah, this magazine did pretty good. And again, not all Variety magazines are gonna be created equal either. So some of you guys know that I went and saw Gwen Stefani get her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And all the people that were like the VIPs that had the seats there, they all got one of these Variety magazines. And I really, really wanted one because they had like, even though Gwen Stefani was on the cover, there was like an article inside that talked about her getting her star, and there were some cute like photographs and stuff. So I really wanted one. and I was trying to get one while I was there because they were handing some out to the people who were in the crowd, but unfortunately I wasn't lucky enough to get one. And I just went on eBay and bought one for $10 free shipping. So it's like, it was this magazine, the Variety magazine. So the way I'm shipping this is always assume when you do sell a magazine, especially if it's like a single magazine and you sell it for decent money, likely the person who's buying it is buying it because they're a collector. So you want to make sure that you ship the magazine well. So I'm shipping it in between 2 cardboards. This cardboard in particular, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a really, really thick cardboard. And this one is just like a regular thinner Amazon cardboard. I would have put it in between 2 of these really thick ones if I had 2 this size, but I didn't. But I feel like this is still going to be good enough, so that's how I'm shipping it. And then I'm just going to put it inside a mailer bag. And it's like, you don't need to write "do not bend" because it doesn't bend. It's so thick. The cardboard's so thick. So this will definitely get to the buyer safely. Oh, and I had another incident where I switched the labels on 2 packages. I feel like I've done it way too many times for, you know, me to like just ignore that I'm doing this. And this time it was a bigger problem because the 2 labels that I switched, one was a very small item that went to, that was just like a small little $10 doll that weighed like 4 ounces. And I accidentally put a label on it to a package that was a big, heavy, like 5-pound, 16 by 24 wall art that sold for $75 that was going internationally, and it was going to the eBay hub. So I messed up bad on that one. I'm still trying to fix the problem. I might be able to fix it, but I'm pretty sure that like at the end of the day, it's going to cost me to like have way less profit from the sale that I should have had if I just would have been paying attention and didn't mess up on the labels. So I'm trying something new right now where I'm just doing one item at a time so that I won't make that mistake. But the thing is that when you switch things around from what you're used to doing, you have to realize that there's going to be a little bit of like a learning curve there, and you have to readjust. And I think that, and at the end of the day, once I get used to doing it this way, I think I'll be just as fast as the way I was before. But since this is something new, I'm going to have to just kind of pay closer attention. And it's going to take me a little bit more time because now that I'm doing everything individually, the layout looks different. So all the prices and everything, my custom SKU number, like everything's like in a different spot. So like when I'm trying to look at stuff, it's just like takes me a little bit more time. But I'm trying this out to see if this is better. I just feel like I probably make that mistake where I switch the labels. I've probably done it, like I do it like on average once or twice a year. And I feel like that's way too much. Like it seems like that's the type of mistake you should make one time and then you don't make it again. So because I keep making this mistake, I gotta try to fix the problem, right? All right, and the great thing about doing my shipping today on Memorial Day, there's not going to be a pickup, but that leaves like less stress for me to try to hurry up and get my packages ready, because I do have a scheduled pickup from USPS. They normally get to my house anywhere between 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. It's always within that time, but it's like because they have gotten here as early as 10 a.m., I always have to make sure that I have it ready by 10 a.m. So there's always a little bit of that like stress, but I love when I do my shipping like on a Sunday or a day that they're not coming. It's like a little bit less like pressure, so I could just kind of take my time doing it. All right, finish the first one. Next item is a pair of shorts. This is by White House Black Market. They're women's shorts. If I could find them. There's nothing really special about them. They're just shorts, right? They're actually a size 0 though. Larger sizes actually tend to do better, but with certain items, smaller sizes do really well, because you have to realize that there are a lot of tweens out there. And you know, like a lot of these smaller size items you're selling to parents with teenagers or tweens. So like these shorts would fit my daughter. So there is a market for smaller size, like women's size items, because a lot of these tween girls, they're kind of like in the middle where they don't necessarily fit into like most of the women clothing that they see, but they also have like outgrown wanting to shop in like the child section. So they're kind of like right in the middle. So that's why when I take my daughter shopping, she doesn't shop in the little kids departments anymore. She shops in like the juniors department, the women's department. But we're always trying to look for those like really small sizes, like the extra smalls and the zeros and stuff like that. And then when I can't find them in the stores, like I have to go like online to try to find those sizes. So there really is a market for them. So don't always turn your nose up to like these smaller size items. So I bought these at a yard sale. I think I paid $1 for them. And they ended up selling for $15 plus the cost of shipping. And how long? Oh, I just listed them this month. So they sold very quickly. This next item is probably my favorite sale of the weekend. It is a Barbie. And when I source for Barbies out like at thrift stores and stuff, all the thrift stores in my area are like pricing their Barbies way too high. I have noticed at my Savers, they normally charge between $6 to like $8 for their Barbies. So 6 is like their lower end and 8 is their higher end for the Barbies. But when I went last time, they had a lot of Barbies out there for $3. So that led me to believe that they're realizing that they're pricing their dolls too high, because they're not selling. Like, come on, like what are you thinking? But oh, and they always sell their dolls individually. Like they never like bundle them like in like, oh, here's 3 dolls for $5.99. It's always just like one single doll. But I always look through them though, because sometimes you find some good ones, and this was the case. I found this doll, and because like I sell a lot of dolls, like I could just tell by looking at a doll like what era it's from, and I can tell if it's a doll that's worth looking up. So this is the doll, and I could tell that this was like a doll from like the 2000s. And I was like, I think that this is supposed to be like Grandma Barbie. So I looked it up, and sure enough, it was, and it had a great sell-through rate. It had a great value. So it was selling for, you know, about $50 to $75. So, and I think the price of the doll was $7.99. I did have my 20% off coupon too though. So I was like, okay, I'll buy this one. And yeah, sure enough, I listed her in April, which was last month, and she sold for $75. I think free shipping. Yeah, free shipping. But yeah, this was a great little flip. She cost me $4.55 to ship. Not bad. And she's going to Wyoming. Okay, next item is some stationery. Now, I went through a little phase where I was trying out stationery. Mostly trying for like vintage stationery. So I bought these angels. These were from 1994, and it comes with like some stickers and some envelopes and stuff like that. Well, I listed this back in May of 2023. And I'm gonna pause again until they're done. All right, so I ended up wrapping it inside of this cardboard just to protect it, because I don't want to damage like the plastic casing that it came in. Because you just never know when somebody could just be purchasing for collecting reasons. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really too into picking up stationery so much anymore. I will say if you find Lisa Frank, that's a definite. And maybe if you find like some like pop culture type items, like maybe like Disney or like Looney Tunes or Peanuts or something like that, that's like stationery, that's sealed, hasn't been used, that's vintage. It's definitely something to consider picking up. You should always look up comps, figure out if it's worth it, depending on how much it's selling or how much they're asking for it. But this took a whole year for me to sell. This ended up not being a good pickup. I think I paid $1 or $2 for it at a thrift store. It sold for $15 plus free shipping. So yeah, it wasn't the best. Okay, so the next one was a pickup from a rummage sale at a church. I don't remember how much she charged me for it. It was either 50 cents or $1, but it is a Blu-ray. And it is for the movie True Romance. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie. If you have not seen this movie, you should definitely watch it. So this was a movie that was written by Quentin Tarantino, but he ended up selling the story to somebody. So he didn't direct it. But again, he did write it. So if you're like super into like Pulp Fiction or like Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill and those movies, you will definitely really like True Romance. It's a cult classic, and it took a while for them to release it on Blu-ray. And the reason why I know about this is because my husband is a hardcore Quentin Tarantino fan. I mean hardcore. We recently went and saw him speak for his book that he came out with about a year ago, and it was so amazing. But we're really big Quentin Tarantino fans, and I knew that there was going to be someone out there that would buy this. So I listed it kind of on the lower end of $10 plus shipping, and then I ended up sending out a bunch of offers. And somebody ended up accepting my offer. It sold for $9 plus the cost of shipping, which actually is lower. I probably, if I really would have held out, I probably could have gotten about $13 plus shipping. But I'm really into getting fast sales right now, so I was just like happy to sell it. But since this weighs very light, under 4 ounces, I am going to check and see if it's cheaper to ship it ground advantage versus medium mail. So let's see. Medium mail is $4.13, whereas ground advantage would be $4.36. So we're looking at about a 20, it's 20 cents. If you ship it ground versus medium mail, it gets to the buyer faster. so that there is a less chance of the item getting damaged. Plus, it does come with insurance. So for me, it's going to be worth it just to spend the extra 20 cents and ship it ground advantage. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, next item is a stuffed animal. Only sold for $5 plus the cost of shipping. I did list this in November of 2023. So it's been listed for about 7 months or so. It's this little tiny Harvard bear. I was for a while buying like college plush, and the college plush sells, like they always sell, but it's just like they don't sell for a lot. So I kind of like stopped looking at them. Now, unless I'm at a yard sale and I see them for like a quarter or 50 cents or something like that, I'll be happy to pick it up. But yeah, I'm being a lot more pickier now with the types of stuff that I pick up. So this isn't something that I would have bought today. Actually, I'm gonna put it in a little bag. I would have bought it today, but I don't even know what I paid for it. I probably paid $1 for it. So. And I just ship my plush in just like a regular poly bag. I've never had an issue before. I've never had anyone complain about it, never had any damage to the plush. So because of that, I will continue to ship them in poly bags. Unless it's like a high value plush, and if there's something on it, the plush, that I feel like is maybe, it could be breakable. Or it could be smashed in and it could damage it. Like if it's like a bear wearing a straw hat or something like that, you know, or they're like holding some sort of accessory, you know, you just gotta just make your best judgment on stuff like that. So after this, I have one more eBay item. And it is this Batman, the Blu-ray DVD combo. Now, I believe this was a Best Buy exclusive. Let me see. Oh, I guess I didn't know. I didn't put it in here. Oh, yeah, because it says Best Buy right there. Duh. But it came with the movie, and then it also came with a little, like, Harley Quinn figurine. I paid $2 for this at a estate sale, and it ended up selling for $20 plus shipping. So I'm just gonna ship it in an Amazon box that I had lying around. Nice and secure in there. Since this is an Amazon box, I am going to use my eBay tape. I had a friend who gave me a whole bunch of boxes over the weekend, and I was so stoked on it because they were all like these type size boxes. So what I'm about to tell you guys, most of you are going to disagree with me. I mean, I feel like maybe about 90% of resellers would disagree with me. But so this particular Blu-ray, it's used, but I opened it up and examined it. I looked at the back of the disc, and the disc were like almost like brand new. No, like not a single scratch, nothing. Well, in situations like that, I don't select that it's like new, or like I just put good condition is what I choose for condition on eBay. But like in my description, I will straight up say disc has no scratches. I have no problem with that. Many people will say that you shouldn't do that because buyers will find like reasons to be like, oh, this isn't there. Oh, I found one little scratch on here, I'm returning it. And I'm gonna tell you that when you sell media, and this is just, so I already printed the label out and everything for that package. So I have recently, there was a book I was looking for, and the seller had posted a bunch of pictures of the book, and the book looked like it was in really good condition, but then they selected acceptable as condition. So as a buyer, to me, that was really confusing, because I was like, well, is there something deceiving about the photos then? Like, why aren't they showing what's unacceptable about the book? So then I reach out to, I wasn't even going to buy it. I was just going to skip right past it, because it's just like, I don't like when things aren't like consistent with one another. So then I just sent the seller a message, and I asked him, you say that the book's acceptable, but the pictures look pretty good. Can you just let me know like what's wrong with it? Is it missing pages? Like, what's the deal? So then they responded back, and I forget exactly what they said, but it was somewhere around the lines where they were trying to tell me that that they always select acceptable in case because it's a used book, and in case like there's something wrong with it. And it's just like, it just like doesn't feel like I really like trust them, you know? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I want to know what I'm buying. And as a seller who sells media often, like I get messages from buyers all the time asking me questions like, does this disc have scratches on it? And what am I going to do? Just like, I feel like that's a yes or no question, right? Like, I'm not going to like respond with like a complicated answer. That's just like not responding at all, right? Like, they want an answer. Does it have a scratch? Does it not have a scratch? So I just say it now in my listings. And if it has scratches, I say it has scratches. And I have no problems. I've never had an issue with it. And I feel like it helps me get more sales, because somebody may be looking for this. They don't want scratches on it. And they see in my description, oh, the pictures, the item looks good in the pictures. She said in the description that there are no scratches. This is the item that I'm going to buy, because I'm looking at all these other listings on eBay and I'm having a hard time determining what the actual condition is. So for me, that's what I do. Now, am I right in my way of thinking and what I do? I don't know, but it's right for me. It may not be right for you. It may not be right for someone else. If something's in great condition, I'm going to say it. This is in great condition. So it's like, it goes both ways, right? I just want to just be honest with my buyers on the condition. And if there's going to be that rare case where a buyer is going to come along and use the things that I say in my listings against me, it's fine, because you know what? I have free returns. So if you don't agree with me that this is in good condition, and if you're going to somehow find some little scratch somewhere that was really hard to find and I didn't see it, it's like, okay, just send it back. Like, I'm fine. I offer free returns. So it's just the way that I've decided to do things. Okay. Sorry to interrupt the video. I'm sitting here in my car waiting to pick up my daughter, editing the video, and I did realize that there were a few things that I didn't talk about that I probably should have about this particular topic of describing condition of items. So first of all, I want to make it clear that I was just talking about media, right? I think that as sellers, we should, this is just my opinion, I think that we should just be better at describing what the conditions of the item is. We've become so jaded from buyers is taking advantage of us and, you know, opening item not as described and all this stuff. So we get scared and we don't want to be responsible for anything. So we just say, we're so vague on how we describe things. And I really wish that we would make it the new normal to not be that way, because I think that by if you have something that's in great condition, you should be allowed to say so. And I think it will help you sell your item. And I also think that you're also helping the buyer out, because sometimes, like as a buyer myself, if I'm looking for something that's media and I'm not getting a full understanding of the condition of like these listings, I get frustrated and just don't want to buy, right? So I think that we should have very clear pictures, lots of pictures. I always see like 1 or 2 pictures listed for media, and sometimes even just a stock photo and not even a picture of the actual item. We should be posting lots of detailed photographs, and we should also be describing the detail of the item, rather good or bad. And that's just my personal opinion. As a buyer, that's what I would appreciate from sellers. But I also wanted to make it very clear that I don't think this is the same for all categories selling on eBay, especially like if you're selling collectibles. I'm mostly thinking about like pop figures or something like that. You gotta be a little bit more cautious of how you describe the condition of those items, mostly like the retail packaging that they come in, because like for some of us looking at the condition, it may seem like, oh, this is great, this is an awesome condition, but all it takes is the littlest little tiny little thing that no one would ever think of that they'll find. So for me, like if I'm selling like a collectible, something that's new in the box or something, I am a little bit more vague. I will post like extra pictures of like all angles and everything, as many pictures as I can, and I kind of rely more on that. And I do say in the description, I will say item could have some minor wear to the retail packaging, or yeah, so that's how I do that. So it kind of like all depends on the category, right? And this is something that you just kind of learn how to do, like as you go along, as you sell more types of items, you'll learn what it is that your buyers want, because people will start asking you questions, and then when people are asking like the same questions, then you start to learn, okay, I need to be more clear about this in my listing. So that's kind of how I get to where I'm at. It's just all through experience, right? We figure things out. So anyways, I just wanted to really go a little bit more into depth about what I was saying, and make sure all that part was like really clear. All right, so let's get back to the video. So now I have done all my eBay. I just have a couple of other packages to ship. This one is through Poshmark. I think I sold it for $10. Oh, let me check. $10. Yep. It's just a bathing suit. I got it at our bin store, not the Goodwill bins, the bins, right? Which, you know, the bins where they sell like pallets and returns and stuff like that. They get a lot of Target liquidation, and this was like a Target. It had like the clearance tags on it, so it was just something that never sold at Target. But I was able to sell it new with tags, and it sold for $10. And I only had this listed for about a month, and now's the time that people are buying bathing suits. So I paid $2 for it, and this sold on Poshmark. I can't remember if I said that or not. And I already went ahead and just printed out the labels for all these ones already. So that was my only Poshmark sale that I had. Poshmark's been really slow for me. I don't really experience a summer slowdown too much on eBay and Mercari. It normally stays kind of consistent for me, but I normally do experience a summer slowdown on Poshmark. All right, next item is, this is a Mercari sale. This sold for $10 as well. It's Pegasus from Hercules, the Disney movie. At Disney parks, they sell these little plushes that come in like these blankets. They're like little baby plushes. My daughter loved these when she was little. She has like 1 million of them. She liked to collect the dogs. So she has like Lady and the Tramp. She has like Pluto and the dog from Pirates of the Caribbean. All the little puppies, right? 101 Dalmatians. The dog from Up with his name Doug. So she has like all those, and I saved them because they're just so cute and they were such good memories. But yeah, they normally sell these at the parks for like 30 bucks. So whenever I find these at yard sales for cheap, I always pick them up. This one, I probably paid close to hardly anything for it. It was one of those awesome yard sales where I just made a huge pile of stuff and someone was like 20 bucks. So my cost on this is really low. And this was a super fast flip. I think it sold in like, I think it took like less than a week for it to sell. All right. And then the very last item, what is it? I forget. Oh, it's a Harley Davidson jacket for kids. It's already wrapped up. I'll show you what it looks like right here. This is a toddler size Harley Davidson jacket in a 3T, but the zipper was broken. I didn't realize that till I got home. I did just pick it up at a yard sale though. I paid $1 for it. And it sold for $15, even with the broken zipper, right? I even put that as, you might be able to see it here in the picture, but I put that as the very first thing in the title of the listing, broken zipper, before I say anything else, because I just really, like I mentioned before, I'm very honest. I want buyers to know exactly what they're getting when they buy it from me. So yeah, and you know what? I didn't have this one listed very long. It was probably about 3 months. So this turned out, even though I was disappointed when I saw the zipper was broken, it turned out to still be a good pickup in my opinion. I think that if the zipper wasn't broken, I probably could have gotten closer to $30 for it. All right, so that's going to be all my sales for today. I hope you found this video helpful, useful in any way at all. Never forget that when you thrift upon a star, all your dreams will come true. I'll see you next time. Bye.